The Olympic Games are the epitome of mankind, where the world's greatest athletes / chemistry experiments go to find out which country is the best through an arbitrary series of athletic endeavors like show jumping and international slapdickery. Asshole. Sure, there's some dark sides to the Olympics, like the fact that the Olympic Village is basically a sex factory, or the rampant steroid use, or that one guy that shit his pants in Brazil this year. But for the most part, Olympic stories are ones that make us feel good about humanity, as long as those humans are from where we're from, or from a country we feel sorry for. You may have noticed I said for the most part, because sometimes there's a story that skips over all the shiny happy parts and gets right down to sex and drugs. And that's where we get to meet Shaun Barber, Canadian pole vaulter who won the World Championships in 2015, followed it up with a tie for 4th place at the 2016 World Championships, and finished a rousing 10th place in the 2016 Rio Summer Games. But the story of Shaun Barber is not about how he's actively getting worse at using a stick to jump over other sticks. His story is about putting his stick where it shouldn't go, possibly for money. That's a sex joke. Before the 2016 Olympics, Barber had to qualify to represent Canada, despite previously being the literal king of the pole vaulting world. In July, Barber was feeling the stress before the Canadian Championships in Edmonton, Alberta, formerly known as the City of Champions, known henceforth as Cokeville. The Jack Ginger needed an outlet to focus his energies, so he did what any of us would do in that situation. He posted an ad on Craigslist to find someone to put his dick in. Now, in Barber's defense, he was very specific about what he was looking for. He used a fake name and posted on the casual encounters section seeking a professional woman who was drug and disease free. Let it be said, Shaun Barber holds his potential prostitutes to an Olympic standard. After a while, a man responded to Barber's ad, offering up a woman, a mother of 2, which Barber later said helped seal the deal because he assumed the fact that she had procreated would mean she was likely to be more cautious and reserved, as though he assumed she'd be on her best behavior while banging a stranger because, I don't know, maybe she wouldn't find a sitter and would have to bring her kids to work. By now, you may be asking, how the hell do we know so much about the trollop a Canadian pole vaulter ransacked before a track meet in Edmonton? Well, we know all this because Shaun Barber, the woman whose name we still don't know and probably don't need to, and members of the Canadian Centre for Ethics all had to testify after Barber tested positive for cocaine at the Olympics. Like most athletes who fail a drug test, he claimed he was innocent, and that's when we heard the story of his escapades in Edmonton, because Barber swears that he has never taken cocaine in his life. So naturally, the only way coke could have got into his system is from kissing his new evening friend. Seriously, the woman testified that she did in fact do coke before her date with Barber and again in the bathroom at the hotel. And apparently she wasn't very good at snorting cocaine because instead of going into her system, it went into his off of her face. And are you ready for the best part of this story? He's off the hook. It worked. Barber's lawyer convinced the court to not ban him for life from the sport because it's reasonably plausible that Barber's negotiated conquest got him secondhand high. Ladies and gentlemen, Saul Goodman, athletics attorney. So that's it, right? Canadian athlete accidentally does coke, goes on to disappoint nation at the Olympics? Not quite. Let's look at some of the other points from this story. Barber told the court that no money exchanged hands, which I can only assume means he used PayPal. Are you trying to tell me, Shaun, after everything we've been through, that you had sex with a woman as arranged by a random dude from Craigslist who, by your story, stuck around for the duration and even popped in and out of the room while you popped in and out of her? That's pimp behavior, my friend. If a man arranges for a woman to have sex, it's either with him and someone else, for a motion picture, or because he's a pimp. You had sex with a coked out prostitute, sir. Don't dress it up like you borrowed some guy's girlfriend like she was your neighbor's leaf blower. That said, she was well worth the allegedly non-existent money. Not only did Barber win the track meet in Edmonton and qualify for the Olympics to represent Canada, he set a national record in the pole vault. Her professional pole control paid off in full, although the win and the record have been stripped like so many Edmonton hotel room undergarments. And finally, we need to look at one of the key reasons that Barber was let off the hook. Once all involved bought the Cocaine Kisses story, the question became whether or not Barber had been cautious enough. In the end, the arbitrator of the case said that the fact that the Craigslist ad had specified drug and disease free was enough for him to believe that Barber did not want cocaine. Keep that in mind, folks. Know what you want and be specific. You never know when your Craigslist ad title will save your ass. Because meeting a woman on the internet, maybe not for money, is one thing, but as long as you told her not to bring drugs, you're cool. Or, just don't pick up professional women on Craigslist. It's your call. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life.